Welcome to the iconic Great Hall here at Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, The Making of Harry Potter. This set is the heart of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and the iconic backdrop to many fan favourite moments throughout the Harry Potter film series.
Now, from our magical mischief to our dark arts features, we like to celebrate all of the behind-the-scenes magic that brought the Harry Potter film series to life. And of course, all of these celebrations start right here in the Great Hall.
Another magical time at Hogwarts is Christmas. And this year, Christmas is going to be extra special for our Hogwarts in the Snow feature, as we're going to have a very special icy display, which has only been seen in the Great Hall a few times before.
Absolutely. Now, what Wayne is, of course, hinting to is the Yule Ball. And today, we're going to take a little look at how we transform this into this, as we show you exactly what it takes to bring these festivities to life. Today, we are getting ready for Christmas here at the studio tour. My name is Kaia.
And my name is Wayne.
Welcome to the Gryffindor Common Room.
Yes, the whole studio tour is a hive of activity at the moment, and we've got quite a lot to do. Every year, we actually shut the studio tour for an entire week in order to transform the set, the props, and the costumes into the festive feature that is Hogwarts in the Snow.
Now, it's your very first Hogwarts in the Snow here at the studio tour, so what are you most excited about seeing?
I'm just so excited to see what it becomes, what it looks like when it's covered in all of that beautiful snow.
Yeah, of course. So we obviously had to create snow that wasn't going to melt for the films. So we have multiple different types of snow, magnesium sulfate, polymer snow, paper snow, plastic snow, and they all had different purposes throughout the film. And we do have a specific station throughout our Hogwarts in the Snow feature. So if you do come and visit us, you'll be able to learn more about the different types of snow and what their purposes were throughout the film as well.
Definitely very excited to have a play with that.
For sure.
Well, and I've just noticed as well, of course, Kaia, you're feeling in the festive mood already because you've
I
got
am.
your snowman earrings.
I have got my snowman earrings in. One of my favourite things throughout Hogwarts in the Snow is that we always hide a snowman or two on the Hogwarts model for ourselves and our visitors to try and find, which is a really fun game.
Do you get a prize if you find it first?
Oh, I'm not sure there's a specific one, but it is a big boost to the ego if you're the first person in your group to find that snowman. Might also be worth saying, while we're sitting here in the Gryffindor Common Room, obviously Harry really experienced his first Christmas while he's here at Hogwarts. And it's here in the Gryffindor Common Room that he gets gifted his first ever Christmas presents. Do you remember what those are?
Oh yeah, well I mean, of course the big one is he gets the invisibility cloak, which I do like quite a lot because it's decorated with Celtic runes, very dear to my own heart.
Beautiful.
Iconic in its own right, although not as prevalent through the series. He has his fantastic handmade jumper from Mrs. Weasley.
From Mrs. Weasley.
Yeah.
It's so sweet. Well, from decorating the Gryffindor Common Room for Christmas, to, as you say, covering our Hogwarts model in snow, throughout our Hogwarts in the Snow feature, the tour is turned into a complete winter wonderland for you all to explore. But this year, one of the most exciting things is what we're doing in the Great Hall.
Yes, the Yule Ball display has been a big hit with visitors every single time it's been here, and we're very excited to have it back again. It is, of course, one of the highlights of the festive season within the Harry Potter film series. Rosie Goodwin was assistant set decorator for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and she's also the set dresser for the Yule Ball display here at the studio tour.
We've seen the Great Hall the first Christmas in The Philosopher's Stone, which is a classic Christmas, really. It's so warm, it's so cosy, it's sort of every child's dream. And then the Yule Ball comes sort of, the children are older, it's a party for sort of teenagers. And I think the idea was to really turn it around from the way we've seen it previously. So the idea was that it would be iced and cold, and so it became a very, very immersive experience to walk into that set.
I really like the part where she talks about it being a little bit more of a sort of teenage event.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know if you can remember the actual scene in Goblet of Fire. It's this perfect moment, if I remember like any like teen disco that I was ever at, where there is this really awkward moment where no one's doing anything and everyone's kind of like afraid of each other.
There is, everyone's sort
And
of,
then everyone just kind of goes crazy. Very different to Philosopher's Stone, but
very different,
perfectly
yeah.
encapsulated by the waltz into the literal head banging.
For sure, literally. I hadn't thought about that, that's so true.
No.
I also think that she perfectly captures the fact of the huge contrast between like the Philosopher's Stone Christmas being sort of the reds and golds and the warm like family Christmas, with the contrast then to the Yule Ball setting being blues and silvers and really icy, like you've got really contrasting ideas going on, but both which are quintessentially Christmas and winter.
I never thought about it before, but the Goblet of Fire really is, if I even just imagine it, it's like you walk into an ice sculpture. It's so like crystallized. The filmmakers did also have to make the props.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
we naturally got very incredible props such as ice sculptures for the Yule Ball. Pierre Bohanna was head prop maker for the Harry Potter film series and responsible for bringing many of the Yule Ball props from the films to the studio tour.
The ice sculptures, as far as making them are concerned, they're basically solid lumps of clear resin. And with clear resins, they tend to get very hot when you cast them in such big lumps. But we kind of encourage that heat in them so that you get cracks and fissures in them as you would in a real block of ice. So we kind of played around with the chemicals, etc., to try and get something as authentic as possible. Underneath the table is a series of lamps and uplights, and it was quite interesting because there was probably about a metre thick of resin at its densest place, and the light coming through it would basically refract within the resin. And so it turned it all pink. So you have to counteract the pink with blue filters. So there's actually a very strong blue light it goes into the base of them and really counteract that pink hue that naturally occurs in the material. There's probably a good metric ton of resin sitting on each table there. So there's a lot of stuff.
I did not realise how heavy those sculptures were. That is incredible. We obviously have a very small section of the Yule Ball that has a permanent place here at the tour. Do you have any favourite bits of that?
I really enjoy that the little bottles that come down out of the sculpture are the pumpkin juice bottles. Have you ever noticed that?
Are they?
The tops are just they're just the same.
No way.
The tops are just little pumpkins. It's the exact same as the...
I had never noticed that.
But the Yule Ball is nice anyway. I know that Pierre spoke, of course, about the pinks and the blues within the actual resin sculptures, which is very interesting because we know about the very significant part of the Yule Ball being pink and blue, and
yes,
Hermione's
absolutely
dress.
Hermione's dress, very controversial topic.
Oh, controversial, why?
For sure, because in the books, it was written that Hermione's dress for the Yule Ball was periwinkle blue. And in the films, we see her in pink. That obviously is just so that she stands out from all of that blue and the icy colours around her. And like a nice pivotal moment for young girls growing up with Harry Potter to realise that girls can be strong and clever, but they can be pretty and girly at the same time. So they put her in pink so that she would stand out, and that would be a more poignant moment, I think.
It was also to do with, well, Emma Watson's skin tone, and so it better reflected her with pink, but also because Flair's colour was blue, they didn't want to have a clash between the two.
Sure. And we do see Hermione in pink kind of as a repeating colour for her throughout the film.
It is kind of her thing, yeah. I mean, of course, got the iconic cardigan, but not necessarily Christmassy, but...
For sure. And I guess alongside all the ice, we also have the really iconic chocolate feast, which would definitely be my favourite part of the Yule Ball, which, because of like the hot studio lights and things, they actually had to craft using resin, which I'm sure you already knew, but it's a fun fact for anyone watching along at home.
And it's incredible to imagine that it was made out of the same material as the ice sculpture.
Sure. Oh yeah,
actually, really.
So true.
You know, it's quite a large undertaking bringing the Yule Ball set here to the tour.
Absolutely.
And it did take quite a lot of time to convince anyone that it was possible.
It's always been talked about from the beginning of the tour. It's been on the big subject on everybody's minds, really. Can we do the Yule Ball? No, everybody said. Can we please do the Yule Ball? Again and again and again. No. And eventually I think people have conceded that, there are ways to achieve it. I believe it took about 12 weeks to dress the Great Hall originally for the film, for shooting. We always knew this had to be achieved in 5 days. So it was a case of what's reasonable, what can be achieved in that 5-day window. So what we'll see is 2/3 of the Great Hall will be the original golden dress, with the turkeys on one side and the puddings on the other side. And then at the end on the rostrum, we'll have the Yule Ball the iced walls and the huge trees and the orchestra.
One of the lovely things about the Yule Ball was the fact that it was a massive team effort. So with rebuilding the Yule Ball back into the tour again, being able to look again at what we did for the film and consider what it took to do it, hopefully that will come across again in a manner that certainly we remember and you get to experience that.
Well, thank goodness that convincing worked, because having the Yule Ball here is an incredible addition to the studio tour.
Absolutely. It's just, it's already, we obviously know being here that it is a lot of work, and that's why it needs to be shut for 5 days. And even more incredible when you hear that it initially took in the Goblet of Fire 12 weeks in order to build that set.
That is incredible. Well, the Yule Ball is just part of what's going on here at the studio tour. So should we have a look at some of the other activity that's going on, getting us ready for Hogwarts in the Snow?
Hi, Laura.
Hi guys.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, enjoying the snow.
Absolutely.
Now, this is Laura. She is the head of show experience here at the studio tour. So, Laura, how is preparation for Hogwarts in the Snow going?
Well, it's a busy week and it's a massive team effort. So we've got some exciting stuff. I know you've been looking at the Great Hall and the lovely Yule Ball set dress that we've put in there. That's not been in the tour since 2022.
Wow.
So it's really lovely to have it back and we're really excited about that. This year we've got Hagrid Talking Head, which will be a great opportunity for visitors to learn and look at how Hagrid dragged that massive tree through the grounds of Hogwarts. And then new for this year, we've got a beautiful projection behind our Hogwarts castle off the Glencoe Vista.
That'll be
Lovely.
beautiful.
Well, Laura, we better let you get on.
True. Okay, well, have fun. Thank you. See you later.
And the little Christmas cards on here. Look. Do you know the story behind the Christmas cards?
No.
So we had so many child extras on set who had a lot of hanging around to do in between takes and in between being needed on set. So we had them create Christmas cards. They were given craft supplies to keep them busy in between takes. And then it became a really nice prop for us to use during the films on set as well. Oh my gosh.
This is even better than I imagined.
This is incredible.
Do you think would they let us help?
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Looks like it's going to be another magical Christmas here at the studio tour. I can't wait.
Me too. Thank you so much for joining us. Do tune in next time for more behind the scenes secrets, and make sure that you book your tickets in advance for your chance to be able to join us to explore some of the breathtaking sets, props and costumes that we have here at Warner Brothers Studio Tour London, the making of Harry Potter.
Bye.
See you later.